Yeah, Tuesday. You know, when I was in college back in the day, we had something called Mickey Mouse courses. These were classes you took where you were sure to get an easy A. Degrees deemed Mickey Mouse courses were things like golf course management, media or cultural studies, and of course, intro to Fox and Friends. Even today, there are courses on tree climbing, Harry Potter, Taylor Swift, but the biggest Mickey Mouse major of them all, gender studies. According to Yale Daily News, over 90% of women in gender studies majors at the Ivy League school receive A grades. Yeah, and apparently 80% of your grade is based on how much you hate your parents. And the only way to fail is by saying, a woman has a vagina. Meanwhile, students who major in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, they receive the fewest A's. Think about that the next time you're driving over a bridge in your car. Kind of redundant. But it's what we already knew. The more useful your skills are to society, the tougher it is to succeed in your field. But being useless is easy and rewarding. Don't I know it? I was an English major, and all I learned was, he who smelt it, dealt it. Shakespeare, Othello. But as our society has decided to enable stupid ideas, now we're getting more of them. It's cause and effect. We've incentivized faulty thinking, and it's everywhere. Just look outside. These mindless and unstable protests are in full bloom. Because if you adopt the latest trend, you're rewarded. And the reward is mental instability. So who's behind all this? Well, according to new research, liberal parents are the least likely to adopt parenting practices linked to adolescent mental health. And they're also least likely to effectively discipline their kids. Meanwhile, conservative parents do the opposite. In other words, tough love works, whether it's parents disciplining children or ignoring Kat when she's crying. Now, it could be the brat's fault, but maybe it starts when parents tell their kids, hey, we're your friends. Because friends care more about being liked than being respected. And so what you end up with is a coddled kid who expects every whim to be satisfied, which then gives bored, rudderless students a way to claim they're oppressed and important. And boy, do they. Today, many young people are embracing identity over individualism. They're following instead of leading. According to the Oregon Department of Education, the number of students who've decided they're non-binary has jumped almost 57% from the previous year. This from a state that used to know how to identify a beaver. I don't get it. So why are all these people making this claim all of a sudden? It can't be as simple as wanting to use both the men's and the ladies' room, depending on the line. But how did they all arrive at this new realization about themselves at the exact same time? To reject millions of years of evolution. I mean, while you're at it, why not declare yourself free from the laws of gravity and float everywhere? Well, it's evidence of a social and psychological contagion. All those things flourish among the impressionable and the weak. Now, kids are already that way. Their brains are as formless as Joy Behar and a moo-moo. But perhaps the liberal style of parenting made them even weaker. Unable to develop their own self and demanding others to accept a manufactured one, they just choose a costume. It's like thousands of kids suddenly deciding they're Batman, but fatter and without the cool costumes. And if you question it, you're questioning who they are. How dare you? Even if it's just, though, for one semester. And you hope it's just that, because you indulge this thing even more, the delusion can be irreversible. You end up at the worst case scenario, castrating a child because of gender dysphoria. Which is nuts, no pun intended. According to a new study, gender dysphoria is not a thing to be remedied with a scalpel, but a symptom of mental illness. Now, this isn't some fringe research. It's from the Journal of European Psychiatry, published by Cambridge University Press. Researchers looked at more than 3,000 people over a 20-year period who sought help for gender dysphoria. And they concluded that psychiatric needs still persist regardless of medical gender reassignment, which undermines all those arguments we hear for transitioning. You know, by standing in the way of surgery, that's going to lead to suicide. You're putting children at risk. So we must take a child's self-diagnosis seriously and perform irreversible surgery to sterilize him to decrease this so-called risk of suicide. But the same lead author of that study also found that gender transition treatment wasn't linked to a lower suicide rate. So it makes you wonder what happened to first do no harm. Now, can you really blame these kids? This is what they're being taught at schools and in culture. This is the adults in their lives, the people they've been told to trust, have abdicated their roles as teachers and parents. And for adults, it's also for attention as well, for the likes, for whatever makes them happy. The best part is nobody can prove they're wrong. It's all based on feelings, and there's no way to disprove a feeling. It's completely unscientific, but anybody who contradicts them is a transphobe. It's kind of ironic. They claim that gender and race is what defines you, but if you disagree, you're the bigot. Look, every kid feels like an outsider sometimes, but until now, our entire society didn't seek to make it permanent. So it's up to everyone, parents, teachers, doctors, and anyone with a working brain. De-incentivize faulty thinking. Stop rewarding the latest dumb trends. Give people, young people, treatment that actually works when they need help. And for God's sake, get rid of gender studies as a major. Let us welcome tonight's guest, shall we? Okay. Her skills with the press, but lives in distress. Co-host of Outnumbered, Kaylee McEnany. The only thing this hunter kills is a crowd, comedian Adam Hunter. Custodians often mistake her for a mop. New York Times bestselling author and podcast contributor, Cat Tiff. And he trims his beard with a riding mower. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA champion, Cyrus. Kaylee, welcome to the show. You look fantastic in leather. And I can say that knowing HR is watching. I dare you. I dare you. Did you ever have to take a gender studies course?
No. I paused because it was woven into all of the international relations courses. You'd think you'd be learning about like how to avert wars like in Israel and Ukraine, but that stuff was all woven in.
Yeah, so instead of learning about war and peace, you learn about pronouns and where to pee.
I am old enough to where that wasn't a part of this. Mm-hmm. So there's this thing, I don't know if you have this new term, social contagion.
Right.
Social contagion. Okay, so there's this explosion of gender dysphoria non-binary kids in Oregon. 4,000% explosion in the state of New Jersey. And this comes after what? The last 3 years, you have corporations pushing this, you have blue states pushing this, you have Hollywood pushing this, and then social contagion takes fire, and all of a sudden everyone is non-binary. But what really got to me in Oregon, kindergartners identifying as non-binary. My 4-year-old came down the stairs yesterday. We just got home, and I go, go change, Blake. Go change. Blake's a girl, by the way. I named her before this whole social contagion.
Just in case.
Yes, she's a girl. So,
very smart. Very smart.
I was ahead of the times. I say, go change into something comfortable. She comes down in a mermaid outfit, like half-dressed, in like a Keys July uniform, not a dead of winter outfit. So my point is, she's supposed to know her gender when she can't even dress appropriately for the weather.
That is so true. That is true. I remember the good old days when social contagion was chlamydia. Adam?
Yes.
Adam, do you have kids?
I do.
Yeah, are you worried at all?
I mean, you know, when I was a kid, He-Man was a cartoon, and now it's a gender pronoun. I mean, you're going to have to start having 2 gender reveal parties, you know, like one in the womb and one when you're 10.
Yes.
But it is. I mean, my daughter asked me, she's like, can boys get pregnant? And I'm like, no, unless you watch CNN. But I think it is how, you know, as far as disciplining the kid, like, it is hard. It really is hard. Like, we decide we're not going to spank our baby. We're going to tase her.
That's good.
But I do think parents need to be tougher.
Yeah, I think it will be. Did you ever take a gender study course?
I did not, but I'm happy those people are getting A's because they're going to get 5 stars at Uber.
It sucks if men can get pregnant because now it's like people aren't going to be sure if it's a potbelly or a baby bump. Kat, do you think, is it fair to blame liberal parents for this? I mean, it feels like these kids are more willing to become followers or following a trend than they ever have before. Is that because of their commie parents? That's a loaded question.
Well, as a childless 35-year-old woman who lives in a big city who like also doesn't even have a friend who has kids, I I don't have kids because I don't want to decide how to raise kids, and I'm so scared of doing it wrong. So for me to weigh in here on that, I mean, like, I don't know how you keep a child like alive. It seems so scary. There's so much that you can kill it so easily just on accident.
No, it's true. It's
Like,
true. If you forget to water
look how
it,
many cracks are on my phone screen. You know, you're gonna get what if it drinks poison on accident, something like that. So I mean, I think it's just, I'm not gonna be like, well, as a childless 35-year-old woman, I think the way that you're raising your kids is wrong. If the kids are alive, I'm impressed by you.
yeah, it's a good point. Tyrus, however, you're different. You have a plethora, a family, if you will.
Yeah, I got a cornucopia basket of chips.
Yes. You've got a Benetton ad.
Especially impressive logistically.
But Kat, don't worry, they're clever. You can set little traps for them, and they always find ways to get out of them. So I've been told. This all goes back to parenting, that friendship. I want to be your friend. I was not even on a first name basis with my mother, ever. Like, I recently found out in like my 30s what her real first name was. Like, I had no idea. So I was like, wow. If I would have known that, I would have made better jokes, but quietly on the inside, because you just didn't do that. But they can't have it both ways, especially the really severe liberal ones who the new Munchausen is, there's something wrong with my kid.
Yeah.
And they want their children to make decisions. There's a reason why when a child commits a crime, they're not charged as an adult. Because the first defense is what? They're a child. They're young. They don't really know what they're doing yet. So you can't hold them to the same accountability as you would an adult. But under their way of thinking, you can, and you should. And of course, if their little darling assaulted somebody at school and they were charged as an adult, they would be outraged and like, how could you do this? Whoa. They're old enough to decide whether they stand or sit when they pee. They're old enough to decide what's wrong or right in terms of assaulting people. So you can't have it both ways.
Right.
So, and see that? Ooh, yeah, you hit them with that.
Yeah. See? Nicely put. Nicely put. You don't get that on Outnumbered.
No. I have 7 pages of notes for you, Greg.
Oh, excellent.
I
All right. We shall move on. Up next, Biden's polls make them sweat, so they pretend Trump's a threat. That's a good.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.